It was a Wednesday morning, not that it mattered much. You know how it goes, another day, another battle with the neighbor. This one was just a little different. I'd barely finished my first cup of coffee, still half asleep, and already I was sitting behind the wheel of my car, feeling the familiar knot in my stomach. You know, the one that tells you the day's going to be an uphill climb. And sure enough, there it was. Karen's beige Camry, parked right in the middle of my driveway, blocking me in completely. I slammed my palm against the steering wheel, muttering under my breath. Unbelievable. Again. I laid on the horn, a long, angry blast that was probably loud enough to make the HOA president, Mr. Abernathy, raise an eyebrow from his office down the street. But nothing. No movement. No signs of life from Karen's house. Just silence, and the Camry staring me down like it was daring me to do something. So, I did what any frustrated neighbor would do. I got out of the car and marched up her walkway, stepping over the suspiciously perfect petunias along the way. I banged on her front door, hard, like it owed me money. Knock, knock, knock. A few moments passed before the door creaked open, revealing Karen, standing there in a fluffy pink bathrobe, her hair still damp from her shower. She blinked at me like I was the one who'd just done something out of the ordinary, not her. "Michael," she said, her voice dripping with syrup. "Is everything all right?" "Greg." I corrected her, gritting my teeth. "Greg. And no. Karen, everything is not all right. Your car is blocking my driveway again." She blinked slowly, like I'd just told her I had 3 heads. "Oh dear. Was I in your way? So sorry." I just popped back inside for a moment to refill my coffee. "Lost track of time chatting with Mildred about the bake sale," she said, her voice annoyingly sweet. "Karen, I saw your car there last night when I took the trash out." I shot back. "It's been blocking me all night. I can't get out." "Oh, is it?" She feigned surprise so poorly I almost felt embarrassed for her. "Well, I'll move it right away, dear." She slowly shuffled toward her car in slippers, took about 5 minutes just to get in, checked her mirrors 100 times, and finally, after what felt like an eternity, pulled out Leah of whying me just enough room to squeeze by. Like I was playing a game of parking lot Tetris. But I didn't thank her. I just peeled out of my driveway and, barely, just barely, made it to my 9 a.m. presentation on time. But this wasn't just a one-off incident. Oh no, this was Karen's signature move. It had started months ago, maybe 6 months after she moved in. The first few times, I let it slide. Street parking was limited in our little cul-de-sac. She probably needed the extra space for her guests, right? But then it became her default. Running errands? Just park behind Greg's car. Bringing in groceries? Block Greg's driveway for 5 minutes. I mean, I get it, had stuff to do. But after the 3rd time, I had enough. My wife, Susan, bless her heart, told me to try being diplomatic. "Just talk to her, Greg," she urged. "Maybe she doesn't realize how much it bothers you." So, I did. I tried to be nice, to appeal to Karen's sense of decency. "Hey, Karen," I said one morning, trying to sound casual, "could you not park in front of my driveway? I need to get out early most mornings for work." Her response? "Oh heavens, Michael. Was I in your way? I'm so sorry." At first, I was hopeful, but nothing changed. She'd park there again, and the cycle continued. I tried Leah of whying notes on her car, polite ones, even firm ones, but she'd always ignore them, or, worse, move the cones I put out to block her. At one point, I even called the police after being trapped in my own driveway for nearly an hour when I had a doctor's appointment. The cops showed up, lights off, looking bored. They gave her the same wide-eyed, "Oh dear, I forgot" speech, but in the end, they told me it was a CIVYL matter. "Unless she refuses to move when asked by an officer, there's nothing we can do," they said. I called a tow truck once. They told me, "It's a private driveway. If you don't have signs, we can't touch it." So, after all these failed attempts, notes, cones, calls, even the police, I was stuck. And it wasn't just the inconvenience of being blocked in anymore. It was the sheer audacity of it. Karen was turning my private driveway into her personal parking lot. And the HOA? They did nothing. They sent me a letter once, offering some vague advice about neighborly harmony and open communication, but no action. Then, one Saturday morning, the breaking point came. My son Kuvwayan Jr. was playing in the city soccer finals. The big game. He was 12, a goalie, and this was his moment. But, as usual, Karen's SUV was blocking me in, and I had to be out by 8 a.m. to make it to the game for warm-ups. I tried everything, knocking on her door. Nothing. At 8:30, with the game already started, we finally got out, but by then, it was too late. We missed the first half of Kovyan's game. When I saw the disappointment on Kovyan's face, I knew it was time for action. The idea came to me when I was at the hospital parking lot later that week. I was paying for parking. The long white and red boom barrier came down with a clunk, blocking me from leaving. And it hit me had if I could put one of those on my driveway. I did some research, and sure enough, there were companies that installed access control systems, usually for commercial properties, but there was nothing that said I couldn't do it at home. I called up a guy named Gary, a professional gate installer. After a few awkward exchanges, he was intrigued. "You need a boom barrier for your house," he said. "First time for everything." He walked me through the logistics: electrical work, concrete bases, sensors, the whole 9 yards. It was expensive, but I didn't care. I needed to make a statement. Gary came out on Thursday, measured everything, and gave me a quote. Installation was set for the following week. And when the big day arrived, it was like a scene out of a movie. Eggery's crew came in, trenching, laying conduit, pouring concrete. Neighbors were watching, Mrs. Gable from across the street, young Timmy on his bike, and, of course, Karen. Her blinds weren't just twitching, they were practically dancing with curiosity. By late afternoon, it was done. A full-on boom barrier, commercial grade, standing proudly at the edge of my driveway. It was ridiculous. It was glorious. And when Karen pulled up that evening, her usual routine signal on, heading toward my driveway, she stopped short. She honked the horn once, then again, longer this time. She got out of the car, stormed up to me, finger pointed at the barrier. "Michael," she snapped, "what is the meaning of this? It's blocking the driveway." I smiled, holding up the remote. "Oh, you mean the new access control system? Pretty neat, huh? Just had it installed today." "Security," she sputtered, looking at it like I'd just built a fortress around my house. "This is a parking lot arm. You can't just put this up." I raised an eyebrow. "Karen, this is my private driveway. It was never your spot. And now, access is controlled." She sputtered again, making some half-hearted attempt at arguing about the HOA rules. But it didn't matter. The barrier was up, and she couldn't park there anymore. Of course, the HOA got involved. They sent me violation notices, called it an aesthetic violation, a non-compliant commercial structure. They demanded I remove it, or they'd fine me daily. But they didn't have a leg to stand on. Legally, there was no rule against what I did. I even talked to a lawyer, and he confirmed I had a case. So, I played their game. I ignored the fines, appealed their notices, and didn't back down. The next twist came when Bob, Karen's husband, approached me one morning while I was mowing the lawn. He looked uncomfortable, like he was about to apologize for something. "Look, Greg," he said, "I know Karen's been difficult, but honestly, this thing's kinda working. She hasn't gotten a single parking ticket since you put it up." I couldn't believe my ears. Was Bob, the quiet husband, admitting that the barrier was actually solving the problem? He suggested a compromise. Maybe painted a neutral color? Taupe or something. Might be less of an eyesore for the neighborhood. I agreed. It wasn't about the color, it was about the principle. So, I painted it taupe, and the HOA backed down. No more fines. No more threats. Just peace. And that's how it ended. My driveway was finally mine again. Karen parks down the street, legally, and we've never spoken since. The HOA still sends me their occasional letters, but nothing about the barrier. Every morning, I press that remote. The boom arm goes up, and I drive out, unblocked. I'd finally lowered the boom on Karen, and you know what? It felt damn good. So, tell me, how far would you go to solve a problem like this? Leave a comment below. Was I in the right to go to these extremes, or did I go too far? And, by the way, don't forget to subscribe for more of these crazy stories. Let's talk.